Connect your disconnect. Episode 6. Your breath is shaping your posture. Welcome back to Connect Your Disconnect. Before I say anything today, I want you to try something just for a moment. Notice your breath. Don't change it, just observe it. Is it high in your chest? Is your belly moving at all? Are your shoulders involved? How deep does the breath actually go before it stops? Most people, when they first pay attention, realize their breath is shallower than they expected. And most people haven't thought about their breath at all today. That's where we're starting. Because what you just notice in that moment is not just a breathing pattern. It's a window into how your nervous system is currently operating. And it has more to do with your posture, your tension, and how well your body responds to change than most people ever realize. Most people spend the majority of their day breathing from the upper chest. Breath is short, rib cage barely expands, the shoulders lift with each inhale. This tends to happen automatically when people are focused, stressed, or working under pressure. In isolation, it doesn't feel significant, but breathing is not something you do occasionally. It happens 12 to 20 times per minute, every hour, every day. So whatever pattern your breath has settled into, your body is rehearsing it constantly. Over time, the body begins to reorganize itself around that pattern. The neck muscles start assisting the breath. The upper traps get recruited to help the rib cage lift. The diaphragm becomes less active. The shoulders sit slightly higher. The chest stays slightly compressed. And because this shift happens so gradually, it really triggers alarm. It's just slowly because it's the new normal. Posture is not just a skeletal issue, it's also a breathing strategy. These two systems are not separate, they are deeply structurally connected. Your diaphragm, the primary breathing muscle, does far more than move air. It stabilizes the spine, it coordinates with the deep abdominal muscles and the pelvic floor to create a pressurized canister of support around your spine. When the diaphragm is working well, the body has a stable, dynamic core that can help adapt to movement. When the diaphragm becomes underactive, other structures compensate. The neck takes on more load, the upper back tightens, spinal stability becomes less efficient, and posture slowly shifts to reflect all of it. Now, let me share something I see regularly in studio, because this is where the concept moves from interesting to real. I work with people who come in holding significant tension through the neck and upper shoulders. We do the assessment, we find the patterns, and we go to work. But something I have noticed over time is that the body's response to an adjustment varies significantly from person to person. And one of the biggest factors is the breath. When someone comes in running hot, sympathetic nervous system activated, shallow breath, mind still at the desk, the body often resists. The adjustment lands, but it doesn't integrate as cleanly. The tissues are guarded, the system is braced. It's like trying to have a calm conversation with someone who's still in the middle of an argument. The words land, but they don't really get through. But when we take a moment first to connect with the breath, slow it down, deepen it, bring the person back into their body before we begin, something shifts. The system softens, the tissues become more receptive. And when the adjustment comes, it lands differently, more cleanly, more completely. The body accepts the change at a deeper level because the nervous system is no longer in protection mode. It's in receive mode. That distinction matters enormously because it shows us that healing is not just about the intervention, it's about the state of the system receiving that intervention. And breath is one of the fastest, most accessible ways to shift that state. Your nervous system has two primary operating modes: sympathetic, the activation state, alert, response, ready for action. and parasympathetic, the recovery state, calm, receptive, regenerative. Breathing is one of the only physiological functions that sits at the interface of both. You breathe automatically, but you can also control it. And that voluntary control gives you a direct line into your nervous system's operating state. When the breath is shallow and rapid, the nervous system reads that as a signal. Something demands attention. Stay alert, stay braced. When the breath slows and deepens into the diaphragm, the system reads a different signal. The threat is past. It is safe to recover. It is safe to open. So breath doesn't just move oxygen, it sends information. And that information directly influences how tight your muscles are, how open your rib cage is, how much rotation your spine allows, and how efficient your body can reorganize when given the right input. This is why at Brain to Body, breath is never an afterthought. It's part of the assessment, part of the preparation, part of the work. Because if the nervous system is still running in sympathetic mode, the body will protect itself against change, even positive change. But when the breath connects the person back to their body first, the system becomes far more capable of integrating what comes next. And this is woven through every stage of the pain posture protocol, because learning to retrain posture and movement also without retraining the breath is like trying to renovate a house while the alarm system is going off. The breath is the off switch, or more accurately, it's the permission signal. The signal that tells the system that it is safe enough to let go of old strategies and begin building new ones. So if there's one thing to take away from today, let it be this. Your breath is not separate from your posture. It's one of the primary forces shaping it. And the good news is that your breath is something that you could begin working on right now. You don't need equipment, you don't need a program, you just need to start noticing, because awareness, as we've talked about on this podcast, is always the first step. Before we finish today, remember this. Your body is always communicating with you. The question is whether you're listening. This is what connect your disconnect is about. Learning to recognize patterns, shaping how you move, breathe, and respond to stress. And if you're here in Sydney, that conversation continues inside the studio at Brain to Body. And if you're listening from somewhere else in the world, the Pain Posture Protocol gives you a structured way to start reconnecting those patterns from home. Thanks for spending a few minutes reconnecting with your body today. Wherever you're listening from, we've got your back, and we're here to help you thrive from the inside out. I'll see you in the next episode.